Hello, my students. It's me again, Madam Gracious Kanzini from Educare Tanzania. I hope my students are doing good. And today we are proceeding with our chemistry session, my Form 2 student. And we are proceeding with the amazing topic of fuel and energy. And in the previous session, we have talked about a lot about the concept of fuels. But today we are going to start the concept of energy. As you can see, our topic is made up of fuels and energy. Now, welcome to start our session today, which is all about the concept of energy. Now, my students, ukiulizwa nini maana ya energy au ukikutana na neno energy unaelewa nini? So, today we are going to see what is energy. By definition, energy is the capacity or ability of a body to do work. Kwamba ability or capacity of a body to do work, ile nguvu ambayo object au kitu kinaweza kika function for that time is what we call energy. Or ule uwezo wa kile kitu kufanya kazi ndo tunaita ni nini? Energy, ile nguvu iliyopo ya kufanya kitu fulani. That's we call energy. SI unit of energy is joule. Kwamba kizio cha energy ni joule and it is represented by the symbol J, capital letter J. In some of the calculations we will see joule, the essence of energy is joule, and you will meet with this symbol J. So once you meet with it, you know in your mind that the J is joule, which is the SI unit of energy. Now, my students, there is a forms of energy. And when we talk about the forms of energy, mean that the energy, they can be in a motion or in position. Kwamba energy inaweza ikawa possessed katika motion or katika its position. And when we talk about motion, ina maana inakuwa katika movement. Lakini tukiongelea ile position, it means inakuwa at the stationary. Inakuwa no movement, like the way I am standing here in front of you. Here I'm possessing the energy which is in form of in form of position. But once I start to move from one place to another, or something tend to move, there it means that energy will be in form of motion. So we have about two main forms of energy which is follow. Kwamba kwa sababu ya hiyo kwamba energy inaweza ikawa possessed at the motion, at the same time inaweza ikawa possessed at the its position. Now tuna aina mbili kuu. We have the main two forms of energy, which is kinetic energy and potential energy. So katika hizi form mbili ambazo ni kinetic energy na potential energy, potential energy is where we're going to see which one is made of motion and which one is made of position. Now let us start with the kinetic energy. When we talk about kinetic energy, this by definition, kinetic energy is the energy due to motion possessed by a body. So you can see the kinetic energy ni ile energy yenyewe ambayo inakuwa possessed by motion. The body inakuwa in motion. The motion may be of waves. Zinaweza ikawa ni motion ambayo iko in form of waves. Electrons, as you can see, the electrons tend to move from one place to another. They tend to rotate, they tend to move. So the movement of electrons is what we call, they possess kinetic energy. Atoms, others molecules or object itself. For example, of kinetic energy includes, where tuone mifano ya kinetic energy. So we have the electric energy. Electric energy, why electric energy? The energy which are in form of kinetic energy. Simply because we know the electricity, it involves the movement of electrons. It involves the running of some of machines, so as electricity can be produced. So you can see what energy form possessed there in running in the movement of electrons is in motion. So electric energy is made up of kinetic energy. Another is radiant energy, radiations. Those radiation, they are moving. They are moving. They are not in their position. While they exist, the kinetic energy. Thermal energy, form of heat. Sound energy, wind energy. Wind, when we talk windy, we are talking about those energy ambayo inakuwa produced the way the wind they blow. So you can see what mechanism involved there is motion. So that's why they possess the form of kinetic, which is the form of energy which is kinetic energy. Another is water. Tunajua kwamba maji yana move, yanatiririka kwenye mito, yanatiririka from one place to another. So they are in motion. So and through water we can produce the energy, water energy. We shall see as we proceed with the session, tutaona huko mbele is kind of energy, tutaziona vizuri in details. So another is ocean, waves, ocean tides, is zote ni zina involve mechanism za movement of water, zinavyotengeneza yale mawimps, moving machines, machine ambazo zina move, running machines. Also falling bodies, body ambayo inakuwa ina fall maybe from a certain point to a certain point. So the way they move, they fall, they possess the motion energy, which all this mean that they are existing or they exhibit the kind of energy or form of energy which is kinetic energy. Now my student, let us see about the potential energy. When we talk about potential energy here, mean that this will be vice versa of kinetic energy. Kama tuliona kwamba energy inaweza exist katika two form ambayo ni motion na position. So kama tumeona kwamba kinetic energy yenyewe ndo ina exist the body when it is in motion, now simply the potential energy itakuwa ni body inakuwa ina possess their it means the body will possess this kind of energy when it is in their position. Let us see. By definition, the potential energy is the energy due to position possessed by the body. Do you see? Very simple and clear. For example of potential energy include chemical energy, energy stored in the food. So you can see that energy stored in the food. It's just there. It is just in their position. Also gravitational energy. Hii ni energy ambayo inakuwa generated due to the gravitational force. It's just there. So it involves there a form of energy which is potential energy. Another the elastic material and also the nuclear energy. So you can see this kind of energy or these forms of energy, they exhibit the energy which is made up of their positions. They are not in motion. Now my student, something to note here is mechanical energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Kwamba now tumeona kwamba kinetic energy yenyewe inakuwa ni energy possessed by the body in motion, and potential energy tumeona kwamba ni ile energy possessed by the body to its position. Now what is mechanical energy? Mechanical energy yenyewe sasa hapa inajumlisha addition au ile sum total ya kinetic energy and the potential energy. Principle of conservation of energy, whereby the law of conservation of energy says that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can be transferred from one form to another form. Hii ni law of conservation of energy, kwamba energy haiwezi kuwa destroyed wala created, lakini inaweza kuwa transferred, kubadilishwa from one form to another form. Now let's see the transformation of energy. When we talk about transformation of energy here, we are talking on how the energy can be transformed from one form to another form. For instance, we have the energy can be changed from one form to another. For example, we have the battery convert chemical energy to electric energy. So you can say you have a battery, so that battery can convert the chemical energy into electric energy, kwamba kupitia zile battery tunakuja kupata umeme. So it is from mechanical to it is from chemical energy to electricity. Another is generator. Generator, my student, I hope you mnaona nyumbani magenerator wanavyotumia katika organization mbalimbali wanatumia magenerator. So you can see that ina convert ile mechanical energy kupitia generator kwenda kwenye electrical energy. Another transformation of energy is a motor convert electric energy to mechanical energy. Motor, hope you know them. Those motors zinatumika kuconvert now the electrical energy afu inaipeleka kwenda kwenye nini? Mechanical energy. Another is microphone. Microphone converts electrical energy to sound energy. The microphone, my students, I hope you are aware about them. They are mostly used in church. Wanavyoimba kanisani kule wanatumia microphone. The way wana preach wanatumia microphone. Hata kwenye different conferences. I hope hata shuleni wamekuwa mostly wanatumia microphone wakati kuna different conferences pale shuleni. So I hope you understand them. So you can see that microphone inakuwa connected to the electricity. Ikishakuwa connected to the electricity ina convert ile electricity, then tunasikia sauti. So that is the energy. That is transformation of energy. So energy imetumika katika electricity or electrical energy, lakini tunasikia the sound energy, tunasikia sauti. Kwa hiyo ile nguvu ya sauti au ile energy ya sauti imekuwa transferred, imebadilishwa. Another is solar cookers. Solar cookers ni zile ambazo zinatumika katika zile generation of solar energy ambazo zinakuwa zina develop hizi solar cooker ili kutumika kwa ajili ya cooking purposes. So you can see the solar cooker converts solar energy to heat energy, kwamba the solar energy there it is connected with the solar cooker. So baada ile solar energy kutrap the sunlight and generate their energy, so we can see this solar cooker now inakuwa ina convert sasa ile solar energy ambayo inaenda katika heat energy, ndio tunapikia, tunafanyia shughuli mbalimbali nyumbani. Most of them at their homes wanakuwa wana hizi solar cookers. Another is heater. Heater convert electrical energy to heat energy. Heater ni kifaa ambacho kinatumika katika kuchemshia chai, kuchemshia maji. Most of them najua my students nyumbani mnazo heater. So unaweza ukaona kwamba ile heater ni kifaa, lakini kikiwa exposed kwenye ile electric energy, kikiunganishwa na umeme, unaona sasa ina convert au ile energy inakuwa transferred. Unashangaa kutoka kwenye electric energy tunaenda kupata heat energy. Ndio maji yanachemka, chai inachemka and so on. Now my students, we have already seen about the forms of energy, but here there is a concept of alternative sources of energy. There is a difference between forms and alternative sources of energy. Hizi ni sources of energy. And ile potential na kinetic, those are forms of energy. Don't get confused. Now, sources of energy can be divided into two types, namely are renewable sources and non-renewable sources. Kwamba hizi alternative sources of energy zimekuwa categorized katika makundi mawili au katika vyanzo viwili, ambazo ni energy zinazotokana na energy sources ambazo ni non-renewable and others are renewable. Now let us see one after another. My students, let us start with the non-renewable sources. When you talk about non-renewable sources, mean that something is difficult to renew. So when we say non-renewable resources are the energy sources which cannot be turned into use again, mean that haiwezi kutumika tena. After being used, ndo basi tena you can't replace them. So you can see you are using them but no replacement, they cannot be renewed. For example, fossil fuels, zile fossil fuels ambazo zote zina involve katika burning. For instance, coal. Tukichukua makaa ya mawe tukiyatumia, once we use it, it's difficult to use it again or to replace them. Also charcoal, this is a good example. For instance, shuleni naona kule au nyumbani wale ambao wanatumia mkaa, charcoal is mkaa. So wale ambao wanatumia mkaa unaona kwamba after using that fuel, at the end you are going to have the ash as the end product, unaenda kuwa na majivu. So how comes yale majivu unarudisha kuwa mkaa tena? Ni ngumu, haiwezekani. So this is what we call the non-renewable sources of energy. So you can use it to generate the heat energy. Kwa mfano hii charcoal unaweza kuitumia kugenerate heat energy, ukacook, ukafanya ironing, kupigia pasi, ukafanyia shughuli mbalimbali. Lakini once you use it, the way will be used is difficult to be replaced. So and when we talk about renewable resources, I mean renewable sources now, hii hapa ina maana this sources of energy can be renewed. Unaitumia then unaireplace, unaitumia tena na tena. So these are the energy sources which can be turned into use again after being used and are continuously being replaced in a short period of time. Kwamba zenyewe hizi renewable source zenyewe zinaweza kuwa turned into use again baada ya kuzitumia, and it is continuous. Yani ni energy sources ambazo ni continuous, mean that the way you can use it is the way can be replaced kwa muda mfupi. For instance, we have solar energy. Solar energy mfano ni kwamba solar energy ni energy ambayo inazalishwa kutegemea I mean uwepo wa sunlight. So as long as the sunlight is there, as long as sun is there, what will happen? This energy will be continual replaced. Wewe unatumia lakini bado inakuwa produced. So this is what we call renewable sources of energy. But also the biomasses, hizi tutaenda kuona huko mbele, tutaenda kuzisoma one after another in details. Also we have the biogas, wind energy and the water powers. Now something to note here, my student, is most of the energy sources used in the world are made of renewable sources. Kwamba energy nyingi ambazo zinatumika katika hii dunia ni zile energy ambazo zipo katika non-renewable resources. Kwamba once used, it's difficult to turn it again into use, or it's difficult to replace them. Na hii inakuwa ni tatizo kidogo, kwa sababu kama hizi fossil fuels zenyewe kama ina take long time to be produced, kama ikishatumika ndo basi tena, and it will take a long time to be formed again. So you can see it's very difficult. So because of that and also this non-renewable sources used first and then they are being replaced. Kwamba inatumika haraka kuliko vile ambavyo itakuwa replaced. Yani ukishaitumia ni ngumu kuireplace for faster, no. Kwa hiyo itatumika in a short period of time, lakini kuireplace ni difficult, inachukua muda. So therefore it is necessary to develop the alternative energy sources which is renewable. Kwa hiyo kama ni hivyo kwamba katika our world most useful sources of energy, alternative energy ni non-renewable, ndio maana kuna umuhimu wa kudevelop hizi alternative sources ambazo ni zinakuwa renewable. It is easy to replace them so as they can be continually used. And hizi renewable one and hizi alternative energy sources ambazo zinaweza kusaidia for daily functions and for future those which is renewable ones. Now my students, after looking the concept of energy, forms of energy, and those alternative sources of energy, which is renewable and non-renewable sources. Now there is task for you here. Try to attempt it so as you can improve your understanding concerning on what we have discussed. You can see it is the simple questions, but once you try is where you become perfect. So the question is, what do you understand about energy? Unaelewa nini kuhusiana na energy? Are the simple questions, but mostly are asked in your examination, form 2 examination. So you can see someone anakosa, ana fail ku attempt correct. Why? Because hajafanya exercise, haja demonstrate, hajafanya practice. So go and try to attempt. I hope kwa sababu umefollow session, umesikiliza kwa makini, it will be easy for you to attempt it and master them clear. Another is discuss the alternative sources of energy. Kwamba discuss the alternative sources of energy. Renewable and non-renewable, you go through the explanations. That is how you describe. So after providing this task for you, my student, this marks the end of our session today. Thank you for watching EducareTZ. Keep following for more learning. Thank you so much, my students. I wish you a nice moment. Bye bye, my students.